Hey there everybody, it's Shadow Sonic, and this part just gave me so many problems recording. See, here's the thing. This is actually post-commentary. Because I lost the entire commentary. All but the very end of the commentary. I lost about half of the commentary on my original recording. But that's not all that I had to deal with. I also had to deal with the tiny problem of the capture card deciding to cut out halfway through the recording. That had never happened before for any game I'd ever played. And were it not for the whole 8.0, including a way to replay spirit battles of a specific type whenever you want, assuming you've already unlocked them, assuming you've already gained that spirit, I would have had no way to recover from that. So yeah, thank you Sakurai for putting that feature in. But in the meantime, I kind of have to re-record this with post-commentary. Because the fact that redoing the old spirit battles through the spirit list isn't exactly the same thing as doing it in adventure mode. I mean, there's no way I'm doing every spirit without spirits in the entire game, because, yeah, wind is a thing, and without some sort of wind-based skill, which you can't get outside of adventure mode without spirits, that's not going to happen! So yeah, right now I was explaining how the center thing is relating to a clock, and I did not remember whether it was, and I was debating which direction to go in order to get some details for what value to put in the clock before deciding to go this way. I'm also kind of annoyed at the seeming laziness of having titles like Magical Vacation Protagonists or Girl from Hajime no Nakori or whatever that one was. You know, the girl with the purple yukata, I think, and that flute. It's probably I'm pretty sure it's a spirit that I've done earlier in this project. But, yeah. I mean, it's not like I've even played these things. My having been a bit annoyed is because I wanted to know about these things without having to Google them. But, then again, I do like the humor of these spirit battles where they add in one of those gust bellows. That's always that's always a good one for me to mess people up with. Doesn't matter how good of your recovery is. If I've got a full charged Gust Bellows, you're dead. And I get you off the stage, you're dead. Heck, even if you're on the stage, it's no guarantee you're gonna survive. Although, the whole villager thing does do better against it than most, I will grant them that. Nothing that can... Oh. I was surprised I missed both of those. But yeah, it's just... way too easy for me to juggle the lightning bolts now. That there's only one of them. So yeah, they're down. Which means now I gotta deal with Donbei and Hikari. And the main gimmick is that there's a lot of fighters. Because of course there are. Although it does start with the 1 at first, that's at least a little bit. Surprisingly, they aren't that difficult. I don't think. I mean, yeah, it looks like there's a lot on the screen, but they're not overly buffed. It's just that there's 5 of them. And I'm a bit too skilled to let there being merely 5 of them keep me from victory. At least forever. I actually don't remember whether I win first time or not. I want to say no. And no was the correct thing to say. Right. Well, that still should be done pretty soon. Yeah, pretty soon. I think it's... out of these characters, the one I'd like the least to fight against and fight as is Duck Hunt. Diddy's a good one too, to not like for gameplay. And then a spawn camp. Well, I guess you could say reverse spawn camp, because he spawned and then... whatever. I mean, seriously, frame 1 pops up, attack, dead. That's not fair at all. Oh yeah, as far as what I was talking about, that whole, not doing every spirit dance without spirits outside of adventure mode thing. I have been replaying some of the spirits I've done in... How'd I fail that bad? Yeah. Anyway, I've been replaying some of the spirits that I've done in adventure mode. Spiritless. Outside of it. Just so I can see that point total climb. I might end up doing... a lot of the spirits that are possible spiritless outside of adventure mode after adventure mode itself is over and done with. I haven't quite decided on that one yet. I do know not ones with wind in them. That is not a thing that's going to happen. As much as I would love to have a theoretically perfect score on my file, because they do score, they do have a score for this, for doing that sort of thing. I do not have the wherewithal to deal with the annoyance that is wind without some sort of mitigating spirit. Were it not for that skill on the skill tree, this entire project would not be possible. As opposed to just feeling like it's not possible at times. Because, oh boy, we are not done yet with the absurdities. We are not done with absurd missions coming up. I know that much. Anyway, I don't have Min Min yet, because I'm waiting for a little more verification that Fighters Pass 2 will be worth it before I actually do something. It's not like it's going anywhere. And that was a good final smash. As opposed to that one, which was completely terrible and led to my death. Of course it did. Well, yeah, Min Min looks like she's an interesting fighter. For sure. Definitely something I'd need to rewire my brain around. Though not in a you have to manage this resource way, which I never liked about Robin. You know what gaming... Crash 4. Man, Crash 4 is looking amazing. It's looking better than my childhood favorite of Donkey Kong Country 2. It's looking better than what might have been my more modern favorite of Sonic Unleashed. Yes, that includes the Werehog stages. if what I've heard about the number of stages that the game is going to have is true, and what I've heard from people playing it is also true, you know, early access demo kind of thing. Not to mention that their impressions are from levels that are from halfway in the game, and yet it's being called really hard, which, if you're watching this, it should be no surprise that I like really hard games. Then it might just have the perfect cocktail of everything for me to adore everything about it. Including a combination of exploration and high skill that usually is not that compatible. So yeah, I got to the owl and it's saying 12:10 is the time I should set this clock to. So logically, I think that the big one should be the 12 and the other one should be the 10. Apparently, no. Fortunately, I'm not a dumb and immediately realized it should be the other way around. This unlocks the Impa Challenge, which... okay. I'll show a few minutes of this, but it's during this battle that that the recording decided to cut out. So there's no real point for me to show every one of my failed attempts here, I don't think. Just know that this Sheik is very beefy and really annoying. Part of me wonders if the reason my childhood friend loved using Zelda most of the time, back when we played during, say, Brawl, was because both aspects of that character were natural foils to me. Darn it, now I just made myself depressed that I'm not in the same state as him anymore. Again. I mean, it's still better that than being stuck in dreary Alaska. Because, yeah, I grew really tired of the gray skies being around for so long in the year. I mean, when it's beautiful, it is gorgeous, but when it wants to be ugly, it really wants to be ugly. Still glad I lived there for my childhood, but... hey. I know, it's weird. Part of me wants to criticize it as justification for not completely missing it, and part of me doesn't like criticizing it because, well, it's where I grew up, and I didn't feel that it was that bad while I was growing up. So that's kind of a thing. Yeah. And of course, playing against a Zelda or a Sheik like this is the big reminder. Okay, you know, I think I've shown enough deaths to count, considering the whole... I'm not going to be showing all of it, and we'll have to replay a little later anyway. So, I'm about to cut out again. I'm about to cut out for that. Fortunately, that what I'm about to show later is live commentary. Thank goodness. So don't be confused if I'm referring to this whole frustration with recording issues as if I hadn't referred to it at the beginning of the video. Because at the time I didn't know that I had referred to it at the beginning of the video. So, see you guys in a little bit. Bye-bye. Hey there everybody, Shadow Sonic here. You might be wondering why I'm looking at the Spirit list now instead of seeing another attempt at Impa. Funny thing! During my attempts at her in adventure mode, it stopped recording. Without any warning whatsoever. Everything before Impa, which is these three, it got them fine. Everything after, which was these four spirits as well as Skull Kid, not so much. Fortunately, thanks to patch 8.0, I have a way to refight these at any time I want in order to show you guys me doing them spiritless. It's just annoying that I have to do the recording this way instead of going through adventure mode and showing it that way. But, just as a disclaimer, in case you missed it, you are confused, defeating Impa opens a pathway leading to Zelda, and on that pathway I had to fight Zale, and these three, it also led to 30 more skill spheres, and then I used Zelda to clear Skull Kid off of the bottom right corner of that map, thinking that he might be blocking the way to the next fighter later on down the road. So, I'm going to be using this skill list thing to try and defeat them all spiritless through here. Unfortunately, I think it's a little easier to fight them through here, even with all my skill spheres in adventure mode not applying this way. Might have to do with the whole... Might be that when I chose hard difficulty for adventure mode, it balanced things in that way.
Ready? Go!
But yeah. Other than a slight decrease in difficulty, this should be about the same experience. Come on. Huh. She is actually not that smart when I'm here. This is not a trick I picked up the first time. So, I guess this is a silver lining. No, I didn't mean to jump. I meant to up smash. Darn it. Let's try that again.
Ready? Go!
Alright. Come on. Hey, you. Huh. That worked out way better than it did when I was actually doing it in adventure mode. Okay, so that's Impa. Now, let me switch to name and then go down to the bottom of the list so that I can find Zale easier. There you are. Now, these guys weren't that tricky when I did them during adventure mode. In fact, I beat them first try. Let's just see how much of that was due to skill spheres and how much of that was just due to them being easy. Oh, and if you're wondering about me doing about me doing non-adventure spirit battles later on down the road, since I have that ability with any sort of regularity now, thanks to the 8.0 patch, I guess the answer is, maybe? I'm thinking about it. I mean, really, my biggest reason for not doing it, for not planning that initially, was because was specifically due to the whole can't regulate it bit. Would you be surprised to know that they actually did better against me? This time? Well, since I know where... No, not date. Number. Since I know what franchise the next fighter is from, I'm going to look through it by number, because number is the best way to look through by franchise. Just need to find Yuxi, Mesprit, and Azelf. Okay, I went too far low. Where are they? Come on. Yuxi, Mesprit, Azelf. There you are! Now these guys have more powerful special moves. Oh, the enemy heals when at high damage. I thought it said that the... Oh, no, I didn't think that. I got confused about what I'd been thinking before, I guess. Anyway, the real threat of these guys is simply the fact that there's 3 of them. Once you're down to 2, it's not that they're not much of a problem. And once they're down to 1, well, once they're down to 1, then you might as well claim victory. They're also a lot less smart here than they were in Adventure Mode. They liked using Shadow Ball a lot more there, so keep that in mind if you try to do a proper Spiritless run. Oh! Didn't realize I killed one of them. Funny thing, the amount of damage that you can deal here, combined with the amount of, that they'll hit you, means you could possibly get 2 final smashes without relying on the whole double final smash skill, which would mean 4 final smashes with it. Okay, so I did them, and then I fought Zelda, which I can't replicate, since that's just a normal Zelda fight, but more powerful. Then again, it wasn't that difficult anyway, so meh. And then I used her to take out Skull Kid. Not that Skull Kid, this Skull Kid. So, let me just switch fighters back to Zelda in order to recreate things. And let's go! Here's the thing. The stage is covered in fog, and they start out with a Skull Kid assist trophy that specifically makes everyone invisible. Yeah, I basically did this. And it worked out well. Also, you only have to deal with the Mii Brawler. So, yeah, that's everything I did after the recording glitched. So, I actually expected it to take a little longer, considering how long it took for me to do these things initially. I don't know if that means I'm right about them being easier to do through this mode, Spiritless, or if I just got good, you know? So, Anthony, could you do the outro since that got eaten up by the glitch last time? 2 for 1 episode of mistaking my name? It is Waluigi. How many times do I have to say this? Anyway, if you liked the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that I can become super popular! And him too. Thank you. Also, be sure to let me know what you think about this game or other recent games. Maybe Hat in Time, since I'm thinking of doing that at some point on this channel. You know, just talk. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on those sorts of subjects. Anyway, until next time, where hopefully it will not glitch out again. And also, I have no choice for story progression but to figure out how to take down Tiny Kong from the last part. This is Shadow Sonic, signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.